So the death of Me Too has been hilarious, and of course I'm talking of the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial, and I've been following this trial as much as we can, but it's, you know, constantly every day being streamed and I don't have much time for it. But so I've been checking in with the clips and sending you the clips, and you've been sending me clips. And
they've been enjoyable clips, to be fair.
It's been gold. So we'll get into it.
Mr. Rottenborn.
Although I have to start off with the shill here. So we'll start off with the book club shill here, being John Stuart Mill's On Liberty, in case you want to find out what we do in the book club series. So please do go enjoy that. However, we shall get into exactly what I'm talking about. We'll start off with Viva Fry, who has been covering this in far more detail than we ever could. So if we go to the next one, please, John, then we can see Viva Fry's channel, in which, if you want to go into the nitty-gritty details of each day and whatnot, of course he does that. We don't have time for that, nor do I have the time to do that at the moment. So instead, we're going to enjoy the overview of how the trial's gone. Because the thing is, this isn't new, of course, and we've covered it before. I mean, you guys did a segment on this trial, but I remember with Carl, we covered the old cases as well in the news. And if we continue on this, if you can go to the next link here, we can see just some of the footage at the time that I remember cutting up back in I think it was the 2016 hearings first. This all came out, and some guy did a very good rendition, so then we had to cover that. And if we go to the next one, we can see the opinion piece that she wrote in 2018, being like, I stood up against sexual violence.
This is what the court case is centered around, this being defamation.
Yeah, even though we have you, as the previous one showed, on tape saying that you are the abuser. So this is the opinion piece saying that she's the victim here of...
Saying by Amber Heard, where I have heard that it might have been written by a ghostwriter.
Yeah, but either way, it's the point of her trying to demonstrate herself as the victim.
And just to head off any criticism, because it happened last time as well, the reason that we're covering this is not necessarily because it's celebrity gossip or anything like that. This is pretty important in terms of, one, it's the tail end of the Me Too movement.
And it's the best possible way it could die.
Yes, and also it is just demonstrating how difficult it is for men in society to be taken seriously when it comes to abuse allegations.
I mean, she literally says in the court case, there's one clip of her saying to Johnny, what is it? That, go out and tell the world you were a victim of domestic abuse, mocking him.
Yes, actively saying that she knows that no one's going to take him seriously. And for the first year, when all of this information came out, sadly, nobody did.
No. I also love, as you say, the end of the Me Too movement, because Me Too, of course, started out as like, hey, there are a bunch of Hollywood sexual perverts and nonces.
There was some very legitimate, nasty stuff going on.
Which everyone knew about as well, that's the thing. Yep. Like, everyone knew Hollywood was an absolute ass show and should have been shut down ages ago.
And lots of those people who were just standing by and letting it happen, still making your favourite movies right now.
As a result, it was a Democrat-Stalinist state, in which if you were a Republican in town, you couldn't work because you'd call that stuff out. And
I mean, to be honest, it's probably even worse in terms of the political hegemony that Hollywood is, but
then the fact that that's all taking place, and then we had the series of events of, well, then women getting in, who remember that women are human, and therefore, of course, also do human things like lying, in the example of Amber Heard, and her being the tail end of this is very much hilarious. So we'll enjoy the clips. Let's go to the first one here, in which we can see Johnny dealing with Amber Heard's lawyers, and just laughing at how painful they are to deal with.
The accusations that she brought. I'm sorry, I was talking. Is that all right?
You would answer my question. We'll take a look at the next one. Thank you.
As long as you're happy, sir.
Relevance, Your Honor?
Your Honor, I'm trying to move this along, and when we stop with relevance,
He said in the
objection, hearsay.
Saying that
Objection, hearsay.
Mr. Calls for a legal conclusion.
I'll sustain the objection. I'll sustain the objection.
And in 2016,
what he was.
Your Honor, hearsay.
I haven't finished my sentence. How do you know?
Showed up drunk to movie premiere. Reports say. Did I read that correctly?
Reports say. This is hearsay.
June 21st, inside the trials of Johnny Depp. Did I read that right?
You did. You should read the article.
And the last one, Mr.
This
Depp.
is a pathetic attempt.
Mr. Depp, please just respond to the question I'm asking you.
What's your
The next
question,
question,
Mr.
the next, there's nothing about this text that's trying to protect her.
Protect her?
And
from what?
To be fair, I need to go back and look at some of the live streams because I just want to know the context for some of these clips because Depp just looks so confused the whole time.
Because he's just having to deal with a lawyer who keeps saying everything you say is hearsay.
Yep.
Like, why'd you ask me the question then, you loser? Although the best clip from Johnny dealing with their lawyers has to be the one in which he's asked, do you think you're bigger than Amber Heard? and him going, wouldn't say that. So let's play that one.
Now, you're a lot bigger than Amber, correct? Physically?
I wouldn't say that.
Okay. The stand, I was...
Oh, I love the smile as well.
And could that count as abuse? Maybe we've got some evidence now.
Some verbal abuse right there. Really, really hurt. And then there's also the petty lies I've also enjoyed being exposed because, as mentioned, we've gone over this before, and I'm very much in the camp of, well, she's an obvious liar. Like, on multiple occasions, she has been caught lying in these facts.
I've not looked into this. Have we got any of the stuff with her testimony yet in this?
There is a little bit at the end just to see what she's like, but of course, this was all Johnny's side of the case, and then her side is going on.
Just to point out, she has started testifying now, and obviously that'll probably come up with some more information. But even the information that she's been giving in her testimony seems a little bit suspicious. Like, she was saying that during a drunken encounter, he assaulted her physically with a bottle, sexually assaulted her physically with a bottle, and they were like, okay, could you tell if the bottle was broken or not? No, I couldn't tell. Are you sure? Are you sure?
100%
Are you 100% sure?
tell.
You can't tell if something's being shoved inside of you, if it's broken and cutting you or not. Okay.
But here's the thing, multiple times, like we have on camera, you admitting to hitting him when you previously said you never hit him in the exact same circumstance. So just provable liar by the audio tapes provided. So yes. And then we just have the petty lies, which makes me laugh. So this is one of them that got caught during the trial. Let's play.
Now, let's talk about the summer of 2013. Are you aware that Paul Bettany claims he's never met Amber?
Objection, relevance,
What's the
and call for hearsay.
She testified that he was there on the island.
I mean, I haven't added this meme music, but it is beautiful.
Yeah, God bless everybody who's been coming up with these compilation clips, because they are fantastic.
They are gold. And that one there, again, just it's so petty. But again, just why lie? Why tell the lie?
Yeah, when you know that there are photographs of the two of you together, why even bring it up?
So then we have the next one, which is probably the best one, which is the lawyer for Amber objecting to the answer he was given after asking a question for that answer. Let's play this one. I'm sure people have seen, but if you haven't, enjoy.
You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me he'd sustained an injury on one of his fingers.
Objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question. Next question.
Okay, you said he sustained an injury to his finger.
Yes.
Okay, Artard.
All right, then.
Can you please tell me what happened? Well, I was told from the doctor. Who else?
Yep.
No, that's hearsay. I can't hear it. But you asked me for what I knew, you idiot. So, just dumb again. I did watch, I can't remember which lawyer YouTuber talking about that, where he said that he could have objected and asked for the statement to be taken off. But then just why ask the question?
No, yeah, because I think that if he said, I've seen it said that he objected to it because he was saying, oh, the doctor told me. So it's like, oh, that's hearsay because you would need the doctor to come in and testify on that specifically. But if he just said, oh, I got this, I know that this is what happened, he would have probably followed up with, who have you heard that from? That's just nonsense that you've made up, obviously, you liar.
Either way, it's very poor form and poor work, if nothing else. We also have this one here, which is, of course, the Amber Turd trending. If you wonder why this might have been, this is apparently because of the human fecal matter in Johnny's bed, because, well, it wasn't from a dog, according to Depth, and... Yeah, a lot of memes made about this. Let's go to the next one, which probably my favorite meme about this.
This might be my favorite meme of all time. Oh, honey, I'm home.
Got a jar of dirt. Oh, no.
Yeah, well, I've got a jar of something else for you.
And you may think, well, we're not taking this particularly seriously, and yeah. And that's also because the court isn't either. Like, you can see from the live streams, this is just a joke for everyone involved.
In the audience, whoever's sat there in the trial, you can hear people laughing at points.
Constantly.
Yeah.
And here's a little compilation of just some of these stupider things and people that take it seriously. Let's play that.
Mr. Depp was trying to urinate in the foyer, wasn't he?
No.
Mr. Depp had his penis out of his pants, didn't he?
I think I would remember.
Relevance.
Mr. Depp's penis.
Next question.
And you were trying to get Mr. Depp out of the house, correct?
Correct, I was trying to get Mr. Depp out of the house, yes.
And Mr.
I think Jack Sparrow's more drunk than Johnny Depp, to be honest.
So, okay, so that's marijuana.
Did I read that right?
Yes, but you
That was my
need to
question.
find the
Just if
term.
I read that right, sir. Now, part of the services that you provide, that your firm provides to Mr.
She's giving you gifts over $8,500, correct?
$8,500.
Yeah.
You give me a lot more than that.
Okay. And you're loyal to Mr. Depp, right?
There's nothing wrong with wanting to spend time with your friends at a music festival after being abused by your husband, right?
What abuse?
So the incident was May
Vaping on court.
21st.
Is that the judge?
Why am I doing this?
she knows she's at the center of a circus, right?
That's the thing. Like, everyone involved seems to admit at this point, this is obviously a waste of time. Like, we've got the video footage, the audio footage, and just to show that she's not telling the truth. She hasn't for years, because these cases have been going on for years.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
this should have been sorted a few years ago when he tried to sue the Sun for defamation, because I think that whole court case was involved as well. But the reason that he lost that one was because, from what I'm aware, they refused to let him enter the video and audio evidence.
I was like, well, what's the point in this court
Okay,
case then?
great, thanks.
Waste of time. So then I love in America as well, you live stream these things because we can actually see what's going on. In Britain, you have to have like a court drawing, which isn't even a photograph. And that's it. That's all you get, which is crap. Because we really should be seeing what's going on in our courts, and especially with Count Dankula's case. I want that footage.
Yes.
I want that public. And it's also very sad, of course, because you don't get this for like Maxwell's trials, but whole other conversation to be had. There's also just the evidence here given by some of the witnesses that Amber Heard is just lying again about multiple things. This one from a psychologist who's just like, yeah, she lied about having PTSD, which would explain a thing or two. So let's play that.
As a result of applying those protocols, what did you conclude?
Ms. Heard did not have PTSD, and there were also pretty significant indications that she was grossly exaggerating symptoms of PTSD when asked about them.
How did you make that latter conclusion?
So one of the strengths of this test, as I mentioned, the important thing about any test used when you're doing an evaluation in forensics is to make sure that the person is responding accurately. And this test does that by not just asking people whether they have a symptom, but asking follow-up questions that draw out very detailed accounts of every single symptom of PTSD. And when you're really familiar with this disorder, which you need to be to administer this test, there are nuances in the way a person will describe their symptoms that have been shown repeatedly to indicate exaggeration or faking. There are also indications when somebody is clearly giving you a genuine response.
Just looks at her, which great way to end that. But anyway, that's an accusation made in the court. Of course, she's on Depp's side of there, but there's what's been said. And the reason, again, it's not just celeb gossip, is because of course, this is also the death of the Me Too movement. And there are some feminists who are still pinning their hopes desperately on Amber Heard for some weird reason. I don't understand it. If we can go back to the links real quick, I just want to show that this comes, or at least this one for me, comes from the fact that we got it from GB News. Because there's one host here. What's her name? I forget it now. The one who's hosting, who is just endlessly feminist for some weird reason. And so her coverage of this is that she decided to bring on someone else and just claim that the psychologist was just making up misogynistic claims.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I know that that psychologist didn't just deny that she had PTSD, but also claimed
that she had a personality disorder.
Well, not just a personality disorder. I think borderline personality disorder, BPD, which I have known and do know people with BPD, and from the details that I've heard of what Amber did and the way that she reacted to certain circumstances and such, it sounds very consistent with what I know of people with BPD.
No, you and those people you know are misogynists.
All of the women that I know with BPD just hate women.
They hate women.
I mean, some of them hate other women, but that's beside the point.
At least this is the opinion of the feminist host and guest here, which is a weird thing to see. So let's play this.
I don't find Amber Heard repulsive at all. I think that what you're seeing is the deliberate position of her as mentally ill. It's something that thousands of women are going through to this day. You know, diagnosing a woman with borderline personality disorder or histrionic personality disorder, which I have never heard a professional say seriously and without irony in my whole career. I thought we'd stopped using that term.
I mean, where does this come from? Because, I mean, bare facts and statistics suggest to us that psychopathy is more prevalent in men, that suicide happens far more often in men than women, and yet there still seems to be these sorts of beliefs that women somehow are emotional, more emotional, and therefore more vulnerable to mental health issues.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, you're looking at 4,000 years worth of misogyny. So, you know, in even some of the ancient Greek philosophers argued that women were just defective, deformed versions of men. Their minds were smaller, their brains were smaller, they couldn't think, they didn't remember things, they couldn't learn.
So Amber Heard is innocent. I'm going to explain to you how. Let's start 4,000 years ago.
Yeah, because ancient Greeks had weird ideas about medicine. Therefore, this affects the fact that women get borderline personality disorder. This actually came up in the trial, this argument, this stupid feminist nonsense, in which the judge for Amber Heard asked the psychologist, aren't women with personality disorders aren't personality disorders overrepresented in women, as if it was sexist psychologists like her?
That's just how it. That's just how it falls. Literally, like neuroscience has shown that women, just in general, men might be more prevalent in psychopathy. Very specifically, women are much more likely to have emotional issues.
So, yeah, the psychologist just responded, "No, dummy. They're more prevalent in women. It's not that they're overrepresented in women as such."
Yes.
Sexist psychologists keep doing this to us. No. It's just more prevalent.
Like 90% of the people that I know with like depression and anxiety and all those sorts of things are women, and it's not nice that happens to women more often. That's just the fact of it.
Men and women are different, and of course,
Big
that's
shook.
Violation of feminism. Although I also just love the fact that she said, "Isn't this misogyny?" And we have a response here from some user named Hallelujah, who decided to go with a wonderful clip in which "Shut up, B" is said by The Rock there, which I can't play. Oh well.
Oh, based Rock.
If we go to the next one as well, I just want to point out this is not new for this host either. If you scroll up on this one, we can see her asking about Sarah Everard and saying, have things always been so bad, or is the 21st century a dreadful era for women? No. Just no. Again, just by the data, like I don't know what's wrong with this particular host.
Framing here, man. Why? She's their token feminist.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be rude, but seriously, like, she has a feminist agenda, obviously, otherwise she wouldn't be saying things that are obviously false. I mean, this being a perfect example, where it's just like, there's the data.
It does make it more entertaining when they have her on a panel with actual intelligent people.
Yeah. It's also interesting because the other Amber Heard believers are up here as well. If we go to the next one, we can see an individual who has footage of some woman here. And you'll notice that this has a lot of likes and whatnot from people who stand with Amber Heard, except the comments are turned off.
Oh.
Interesting. Just everyone. Just no comments here.
Oh, this is the clip that I was talking about where she's like talking about, how Amber told me that, she got assaulted up the with a bottle, and then it's afterwards that Amber comes up and they're like, oh, could you tell? No.
Yeah. We'll move on. We'll go to the next one as well, which is we can see the jar of dirt. This was Amber saying that Johnny Depp had a jar of cocaine, and of course a lot of mentions were made to the jar of dirt there, which also he just looked up and goes, jar of cocaine? I can afford more than that.
Just a jar?
Yeah, we'll go to the next one as well. We then have Amber's acting, and I'm going to call it acting because it's not convincing in my opinion. And we'll play, and you can make up your own mind. I've made up mine. Let's play this one.
I felt this pressure. On my pubic bone, and he said he was punching me. I just saw his arm. I could feel his arm moving, and it looked like he was punching me. But I could just feel this pressure. It was like...
Yeah, no vibe.
I mean, she is an actor. I would like to also point out, just to be sure, that Johnny Depp is also an actor, so you could also levy that criticism at him, but he doesn't seem to be acting.
Well, the evidence isn't based on their mannerisms or even their testimony. It's based on the audio recordings. And the audio recordings don't look good for her.
No,
so.
they really don't. And if I had to call out one of them as looking performative over the other, I know who I'd go for.
But I suppose we'll end on this. If we go to the next one, we can see some response from her, which is the high-quality photos of her testimony in which you can't see the tears. Presumably, they evaporated by then. If we go to the next one as well, we can also see the evidence of how they're arriving at court, both of them. Johnny looking very happy and taking gifts from random people, which... Okay.
Fair play, a bit weird, but okay.
Yeah, and everyone very happy, and then the alternative happens, which is that Amber Heard turns up with don't want to say hi. Certainly doesn't.
Nope.
No. Okay. And then we'll go to the last one here, which is just the fact that I think maybe we'll see those tears when she finishes and loses.
I've not seen that Muppet before.
But there we are. That's the end of the Me Too movement. This is how it died. I mean, you remember it starting up and all that. This is the death of it right now, which is hilarious, if nothing else. And I thought we'd enjoy it because it's Friday, if nothing else. If you appreciated that segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content we have on the site, such as the premium articles that we do. This one from Hugo, Bill Gates to the rescue, our savior. He also has an audio track there for Silver Tears to listen in case you don't like reading. Also, you can follow us on Getter if you want to see what else we're putting out at lotuseaters_com on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.